Fallout New Vegas getting started. This would be a series of videos on how I usually get started in the game. Now, normally your main objective when you first start the game, as soon as you leave the doctor's house, you usually want to start getting clues, and eventually it leads you down south, and then you'll come along this way, you'll find a way up north. This is all because you're looking for the guy who shot you, Benny. And you go up this way, and eventually you'll make it all the way up to the golden area that has everything. You got Freeside, which is kind of a slum, but there's a lot of good stuff there. You got the Gun Runners, you got Crimson Caravan Company, you got the clinic. Okay, so for me, because I like Honest Hearts, I wanted to go to Northern Passage. And also, this has nothing to do with Honest Hearts, but I like to go over to the Nellis Air Force Base as soon as possible. So that's usually why I head up here so quick, because it has everything I need. I can go over to the Air Force Base, I can go over to the Northern Passage, do what I want to do, and then go on with my journey. Now I'm going to show you, maybe you guys don't want to go over to Northern Passage, and maybe you don't want to go to Nellis Base, but maybe you just want to go to Northern Vegas for whatever your prerogative may be, or whatever. So I'm just going to show you the quickest way, the way that I go about it, even at level 1. When you're level 1, you can do this. You just got to be very careful and follow, step by step. You don't have to do every single thing, but just hear me out. Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe this will help you out. Who knows? Maybe I might change the way you play the game, and maybe you might play it better if that's possible. I don't know, but whatever. I'm doing the video, I'm doing a series in it, and maybe you guys will pick up on something. Alright, so I'm going to do this, like I said, I'm doing it in parts. It's going to be a series, but there's also going to be checkpoints, what I'm going to call, and usually around each checkpoint is when the video will end, and that's around Hidden Valley Bunker. Okay, so obviously I'm not level 1, okay, I'm level 16, but it doesn't matter. You're going to be doing some sneaking, and to show you some proof, it doesn't matter. You'll see along the way, it just doesn't matter what level you are, and that it's possible. My sneak is at 24. When I did this at level 1, my sneak was 14 or 15. Now, if you don't follow what I do, you are going to run into big trouble. You're going to run into Deathclaws, you're going to run into Super Mutants, and you're going to run into Nightkin. But if you follow my path and the way that I do it, maybe not 100%, maybe there's some places, some locations I stop at. I make little pit stops to pick up supplies or whatever, and I keep moving forward. I don't stop to really sell anything until I get to a certain point or whatever, and I'll cover that when the time comes. But if you just follow it, you only really have to deal with coyotes and bark scorpions. Now, over here is usually my first pit stop. We just got out of Good Springs over here. And, see that glowing rock? There's a cave over there. It's just got some coyotes in it. And, it's got some pretty decent loot for the beginning of the game. There's a Bright Brotherhood corpse in there. He might have a recharging laser rifle or laser pistol, or maybe even a plasma defender, something pretty good that can help you take out any of these lower level enemies, sometimes even in one shot, because it would just disintegrate them or vaporize, whichever word you would like to use. Up here is my second pit stop. I'm sure many of you have crossed this before. You can almost guarantee it. And it's that shack right there. There's usually some, sometimes some armor. There's, now we're heading north, by the way. But anyway, there's some armor in there sometimes. There's a weapon repair kit, and there's weapons and ammo in there. So it's a pretty good pit stop. Now you're gonna be seeing me fight with some powder gangers. Now that's obviously because I'm vilified. I guess there was a bug or whatever after the patch. One of the powder gangers was hostile, and I didn't take too kindly to him shooting at me, so I killed him. As you see, I'm on hardcore mode. Gotta drink the water. There's other armor here on this guy. You can also loot the powder gangers if for whatever reason you want to take them out. Maybe you just don't like them, whatever. There's ammo in here. There's usually a skill magazine here, a bed. You can rest real quick if you like. I don't really see any point because you just got here, just started the game. So now up here pretty soon, you're going to see me fight some more powder gangers. But really, you're just going to be dealing with some coyotes. Loot the Brahmin corpse, because sometimes they'll have like chems on them and alcohol, so you can just sell those when you get the chance. Don't stray off this path over there. You'll deal with giant rad scorpions, possibly a deathclaw. And don't stray off over there. You'll end up getting yourself crippled because of mines and stuff. There's usually food in here, like I said, and there's coyotes. I'm not even going to bother looting them. Just want to show you guys the path. And point out some like little locations or whatever, like pit stops, like I say. Now up here there's the railroad bridge or underpass, whatever you may want to call it. Now underneath there's a Bright Brotherhood corpse again. And you guys already know why. I just said why they're good to loot. Excuse me. Because they have laser weapons and energy cells and stuff like that are easy to come by in the beginning of the game. They're cheap. You may even get the recharger ones, and you can even disintegrate or vaporize enemies. Now, instead of going to Sloan, we're not going to Sloan. There's deathclaws that way, and we're not dealing with that. You gotta remember, you gotta think of it as we're level 1 here. We'll be dealing with the bark scorpions. I'm gonna be cutting this video soon, which works out fine because we're already at the first checkpoint. Now I go up this little trail here. Beware of this rock. You may fall through it. I usually just jump up this way. And then I sneak when I'm up here. And pick off whatever bark scorpions I can. Okay. And there's probably one more, and it'll be behind this big rock. So I'm going to go around the big rock. Now, any combat you get into on the lower level that I'm at now, you may want to take care of over on the east side. You'll attract less attention. Because on the west side, there's a lot of deathclaws that can easily spot you. Now, when I get to around here and I make sure any of those enemies are done, I rest, because it will auto-save, and if anything happens, I'll just be right here. I mean, it'll be a complete pain in the ass and a waste of time to have to go all the way back from the beginning of the game, and then come up here and have to die, you'll die for whatever reason, start over. Plus, this is a good area to actually save your game, because over in the west area there are deathclaws. They will spot you pretty easily unless you're careful, such as I am. And over on the east side you have Black Mountain, which has super mutants and nightkin. So to be extremely careful around these parts. And this is where, like I said, from here on out until I say otherwise, you'll be sneaking. Alright, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for Part 2.